Today I'm going to take a look at this figure that I've wanted for many, many years, and thanks to San Diego Comic-Con, there's an exclusive version that is this set of colors, minus some accessories and a bit of a hefty price. So let's look at this thing and find out if it was worth that price of $220. Spoiler, no! But do I love it? Let's find out. And if you were unable to get this Vegeta, and you wanted him, but you couldn't get him, the next best thing is maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm a little biased, is buying my gigantic desk mat. Look, so isn't that kind of fun? Uh-oh. Yeah, so you can have this desk mat drawn by yours truly, and there's Goku, appropriately sized, I think. Anyway, link is in the description. It's probably one of my most popular pieces, at least as far as desk mats go, I guess, huh? So today is all about my favorite character, Vegeta, but in his great ape form. When he, did he block out? No, he didn't block out the sun. He made a fake moon. Is that what it was? Whatever. It's just been, how many years ago did we figure this out? Like 25 years ago when I watched this show, when this stuff happened? Here's the thing about this figure, okay? While it is a repaint, new colors, brighter blues, I do love the colors way more than the previous one with the really dark blue. This makes me happy visually. It's missing some accessories, folks. That's right. While you get some grippy hands in the box, or just kind of open palms, or whatever you want him to be. I don't even think he ever shot any ki blasts in this big body. You also get a couple of fist options, and I have to admit that the sculpt on all of this is fantastic, especially when you look at the details of the gloves and the hands. This is where like a little bit of paint could go a long way too. In all of these holes and cut spots could really add a lot more life to it. Who's out there customizing these things with paint? I want to see it. And then you get this one where he's pointing. You know what? That's fine. That's cool. You also get this alternate tail option, which I thought the other version had like bones sticking out when his tail gets cut off. Isn't this supposed to be white, like bone? Is there also supposed to be like a muscle, like red in there? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to look up internet images of the previous release to find out. Yes, you get a full tail that goes on, which I do have them connected to already. You get this face with the red eyes, articulated mouth. You get this alternate head with the eye damage. But the big problem here, and I guess we should acknowledge that there is a huge base. And by huge, I mean this thing is massive. So huge, massive, other descriptors, large. It's very simple. There's not a lot to say about it. It has a very solid ratchet. It's got movable arm pieces. The problem here is that this is still not enough to hold this gigantic ape. Oops, hit the mic. Let's try that again, back from the top. The problem is that if you want the stand to hold this gigantic ape off the ground, it's not gonna do it. It can't. I don't even think that tightening these screws are going to do the job. He's just so heavy, and that is going to be probably one of the biggest things to say and acknowledge about this. Not only is he a big beefy boy, but he is incredibly heavy, especially in the upper half, which causes this kind of loose, oh no, torso. This part is a bummer. Now, this is a figure that came out several years ago originally. Got re-released for San Diego, and like I said, the new colors, which I like, but we are missing some really important things, like the hands that are smooshed together holding a 2-scale Goku. That's right, this obviously is not a scaled action figure to go along with the rest of your Dragon Ball figures, unless you have little statues that are small. This isn't going to go with the S.H.Figuarts figures that you're collecting at this moment, currently have been or will be collecting. This is a underscaled thing, which, understandably so. It kind of has to be. This is already a lot of plastic, like I said, a lot of weight, so it's expensive, and it would be even more expensive to try to get this guy in scale. That's never going to happen. So beyond the squishy hands things, we're also missing a crucial part that goes along with this tailpiece, Yajirobe. That's right, the incredible Yajirobe, who is always showing up to save the day. I don't know, always. He did it then, and then he did it in like the future stuff with Dragon Ball Super. Doesn't matter. You don't get him. It was like a little tiny one with the sword out, cutting the tail off. We missed that. He is a crucial part to this. Also, these things already existed. Why'd they remove it to make this an exclusive? So really, at the end of the day, the price of this guy, 220 bucks, is really tough because there's less stuff in there. It's not like they did with Beast Gohan, where they repainted him with the shiny stuff and then added like an aura effect behind him. It's weird. The exclusives get repaints, that's cool, but why remove accessories and charge the same or more? I don't know what the retail price of this guy was when he originally came out. It's gotta not be that bad, but 220, we'll just say is because of inflation. But you can go on the aftermarket now and spend 300 bucks roughly to get the old version, which has all the extra stuff. So if this guy is 220 bucks, and I said right off the top it's not worth 220 bucks plus tax, then that means the $300 one is definitely not worth it, but less not worth it, even though it's more money, because you get all the extra stuff in the box. Is that logical? Is that mathematical? I don't know. So let me know down in the comments as we go along with this thing. Am I crazy? Or do you love this thing and you want it real big time? Or maybe you're just like I used to be and you think you want one until you get it. And then you're like, well, that's a little underwhelming. Look, depending on the lighting, the camera and everything, you may not notice that there's like shadow paint in the pants, just a little bit, but not a ton. Like this really is just a lot of straight plastic. And maybe there's a wash that is just so subtle you can't tell. But it's kind of on par with most S.H.Figuarts stuff where they really don't paint stuff. I think the only thing we're getting is just a little bit of shadow in the arm, in the blue areas, and that's it. So a lot of flat plastics, great sculpt. The light hits it, looks awesome. Love the face sculpt, love the eyes, love the articulation of the mouth. So here's things that I love, I guess. If you want one of these guys, I would say just save up the difference and get the other version. What is like an $80 price difference? You get all the extra parts. I think you'll be happier with it. I don't know. I am very curious if somebody bought this, has the other one, did a review, and compared them and said that this was better in some way, because I don't know that that's going to be the case. It's going to be all the same stuff unless they like put different plastics in or something to make the joints better. But it's going to be, yeah, they didn't redo anything. It's all the same old stuff. All I know is at the end of the day, this, while it brings me joy to look at it visually, like holding it here and just looking at it with my eyeballs, looking at it in the camera especially, the colors are popping, it looks really nice. It's heavy. The articulation's pretty tough because it's older, but also like the joints are really solid, which is a good thing because he's so heavy, except for in the torso, it wobbles too much. Crazy butterfly joints going on under these shoulders to give him a lot more range than you would expect, which is probably required based on the other hands where he's squeezing a Goku. But I just don't know that I'm a happy boy having this thing now. I wanted it for so long. Before this came out, I wanted the $300 aftermarket one. I was like, I can't do that. I'll spend $300 on other stuff, which is crazy. I wouldn't do it on the Vegeta. But I was like, you know what? Maybe they'll re-release it. And they did. So I'm glad that I waited. I'm glad that I was able to get it at San Diego Comic-Con in person. But you know what? I don't know that I think he's really worth it. And I don't know that I'm just like happy to have him now. It's just crazy. Isn't that crazy? This guy is so big, and he's like having a little child. This is like a little baby. You put him in a little diaper, and he poops himself, and then you clean it up. You know what I mean? That's what babies do. I just, you know, the lack of accessories, the big generic base, the heaviness. I mean, a feat of engineering marvel. A marvel of... what words am I trying to say? This is worth every penny. This is how you make a figure big. And he's not that much smaller than this Vegeta. I mean, look at that. It's crazy. This works in every way you want it to work. It looks fantastic. It's covered in paint. This is Beast Deities doing a Broly. So this is the third party. It's unofficial, unlicensed, but basically you could just think of this as like really high quality fan art. This is official and very expensive. In fact, more expensive than that guy. And you just kind of feel like it's lacking stuff. And the accessories, the other guy got a lot of accessories. This is, do I regret spending the $220? Well, let's look back at this video in a month, see how many views it got. If it's not a lot of views, then yes, I regret it, because then I've spent money and I lost money because I made this video and I hate this guy. I don't hate him. I don't hate him. but I don't love him. Okay? This is like the child I didn't want. Sorry, babe. Okay, well, that's enough complaining, because it's not, you know, what? At the end of the day, it's fun. But I just don't even know what to say anymore. Just spend the money on that Broly. Worth $200. Not worth $200. Isn't that kind of sad? Well, there you have it, folks. If you enjoy this and you want to see some more Dragon Ball stuff get reviewed, then click the top link there. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.